schedule it, so 6:33 is what I think.
6:33, okay. Let me know when you're ready.
There you go.
All set? Okay, call the meeting to order at 6:33. Let's do roll call. We will start with our student rep.
Brandon Rose.
Joe Age.
Nick Tombrowski.
Nicole Levine McGrath, Debbie Sherman, Sue Condon,
Vinnie Cannadella.
Robert Carr.
Mike Husa.
Okay, pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, I know we have some amendments to the agenda, so Nicole.
thank you. When you go to the policy section, you'll see that there's 3 policies slated for a second read. We actually took care of those last meeting, so we do not have to address those tonight.
Okay.
Also, I would like to add that there is a bullying policy that we would like to discontinue after the board's discussion, so I'd like to add that to the agenda.
So you want to make the motion?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion that we add the bullying policy to just for the discussion under the policy and quality section of our agenda, so we can talk about repealing that policy.
I'll second.
All right, discussion. Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? And the motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay, approval of minutes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the 3/25/2025 Board of Ed regular meeting minutes.
Have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion? All right, and hearing none, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? And motion carries. Audience of citizens. Mon?
Here's the second.
Vinnie, do we have any board
I
correspondence?
did not get anything.
I did get a interest in the superintendent position, which I forwarded on to Zeal. That's all I got. Did anybody else get anything? Student representative update.
Last Thursday at OHS, we had our World Language Honor Society induction ceremony. And at this ceremony, selected juniors taking either Spanish or Italian were inducted, and current senior members were given their cords. Last Sunday, the OHS Unified team held their annual Unified Cheer Showcase. The OHS Unified Cheer team organized this, and they put on a great routine and created a great inclusive environment for the visiting teams. Yesterday began the district-wide art show at OHS, providing students of all age levels with the opportunity to display their hard work. The art show is also occurring tonight until 8 o'clock. The OHS varsity baseball team begins their season tomorrow at 3:45 with the game at home against Crosby. And the varsity softball team begins their season tomorrow as well with an away game at 5 o'clock against WCA at Municipal Stadium. The OHS golf team is beginning to compete, and they have a couple of matches scheduled this week. And the OHS track team has their first meet on Thursday as they compete at Seymour High School at 3:45. And this Friday, April 11th, is early dismissal for all students.
Thank you very much. All right, action items. Dr. Adamowski or Megan, either one.
So you have this out-of-state field trip, Sturbridge Village, 5th grade. Backup was in your folder and recommending your approval of that. By the way, I should just mention here that the state law requires you to approve field trips if there's an overnight or if it's out of state. This one happens to be both, so clearly falls into that category. The daily field trips where, you know, a group will go visit someplace during the day and come back the same day. Those will be approvable by the principal. So you'll be getting either out of state or overnight.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the field trip to Old Sturbridge Village. Let's see. Does it have dates here? 6/11/25, departing at 8 a.m. and returning the next day at 3:50. Do I have a second?
Second.
I think it's a one day.
It's a one day?
Yeah,
Sorry,
Three
not-
350 the same day, yeah.
Yeah, this one is just out of state.
Okay, got you. All right, so we have a second. Did you get the second?
Yeah.
Okay. Discussion. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? And the motion carries.
I'm gonna handle this one. I'm gonna be reading for a little while. We have 2 votes for the healthy food certification. The first motion, I'd like to make a motion pursuant to CGS Section 10-21(5)F. The Oxford Board of Education certifies that all food items offered for sale to students in the schools under its jurisdiction and not exempted from the Connecticut nutrition standards published by the Connecticut State Department of Education will comply with the Connecticut nutrition standards during the period of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2026. This certification shall include all food offered for sale to students separately from reimbursable meals at all times and from all sources, including but not limited to school stores, vending machines, school cafeterias, culinary programs, and any fundraising activities on school premises sponsored by the school or non-school organizations and groups.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, discussion.
Is that like concession stand at the play and things too? I mean, we sell candy and stuff at those things.
Yes.
Oh, but after school?
It's not limited to it. If you'd like, if you want me to explain it, I can read it, but I think you're fine. We do it every year.
It's
So,
usually during the school day.
Yeah, there used to be time limits where you would fall within that time period so that you could sell the candy at the play.
Right, yeah.
But not during
During
lunch.
school, yeah, okay. I'd never heard with the school, the vending or culinary, whatever, fundraising activities on school premises, but it doesn't really say whether or not that's during school hours or not.
This is during school hours.
Just during school
And
hours,
so,
okay.
this is an annual certification that you're making. It basically protects the healthy lunch program from competition with unhealthy food being offered at the same time. So it's applicable to the school day.
Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? And the motion carries.
okay, vote 2. I'd like to make a motion. The Oxford Board of Education will allow the sale of students of food items that do not meet the Connecticut nutrition standards and beverages not listed in Section 10-221Q of the Connecticut General Statutes, provided that the following conditions are met. 1, the sale is in connection with an event occurring after the end of the regular school day or on the weekend. 2, the sale is at the location of the event. And 3, the food and beverage items are not sold from a vending machine or school store. An event is an occurrence that involves more than just a regularly scheduled practice meeting or extracurricular activity. For example, soccer games, school plays, and interscholastic debates are events, but soccer practices, play rehearsals, and debate team meetings are not. The regular school day is the period from midnight before to 30 minutes after the end of the official school day. Location means where the event is being held and must be the same place as the food and beverage sales.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? No, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? And motion carries. 6C, approval of graduation dates. I don't see that in this packet.
The recommendation for the graduation date would be June 16th, the day prior to or before the first day of school, or last day of school.
And the rain date?
It would be the last day of school.
Yeah, so this should be in your online packet. I'm not sure. Sorry if it's not.
It's okay.
It's okay.
The line items there, 6/16 would be the graduation date, 6/17 is the rain date.
Okay,
Yes.
I would like to make a motion to accept June 16th, 2025 as our graduation date with a contingency of having June 17th, 2025 as our rain date. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Is that middle school and high school? Because usually we do
Yes.
them both.
They're both on the same day.
All right. Anybody else? All right, let's go. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. All right. 6D, approval of contract addendum for support services discussed by the board from Zeal Education Group following board selection of a new permanent superintendent. The chair is authorized to enter into a contract for such services. We have a motion?
I have the motion. Before I read it, it says superintendent support services. I think that's meant to include,
This includes what we talked about during our search committee meeting with the $1,500 for the background check and the $1,200 for an expanded search, but not national search.
okay. I hereby move that the board purchase superintendent support services from Zeal Education Group following the board election of new permanent following the board, I don't, this is not,
Okay.
I think I can make one up,
Yeah. that's
but
fine.
I scratch that. I didn't finish the motion. I hereby move that the board agree to the additional services of background check as well as regional search for the new superintendent role from Zeal Education Group pursuant to the terms of the board discussion, and that Chairman Carr be authorized to enter into a contract on behalf of the board for such services, subject to any necessary legal review.
All right, do I have a second?
More or less.
Sue is seconding.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
I can't hear sometimes. Loud stuff going off next to my head for like a year. Okay, discussion. We're ready for all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? And motion carries. All right, Dr. Adamowski.
So, number of things for your awareness. We're getting ready all over the state for high stakes testing, the SBAC this year, and I wanted you to be aware of the schedule for that. And asked Eric if he would review that with you.
The schedule, so most of it's going to occur in May. So the state testing that is required, as you can see on the document, the DIBELS test is we get that K-5, it's required for all K-3 students. And that's part of the Right to Read grant through the state. So that's that assessment that will be done. And there is a state window for that we have to fit within that. You guys know NGSS and SBAC, been doing it for years. So NGSS is grades 3, 5, 8, and 11. And then SBAC is all grades 3 through 8. So all the schools will be working to do those tests within the window. So they've been going through prepping students for that piece. And that is the required spring assessments. And then last month we did do the Connecticut SAT day. And we're still waiting on results for those. But those are the spring assessments that we have to do per state. Any questions on any of those?
So schools will be quiet zones those days. Want everyone to get a good night's sleep, have a good breakfast, and do their best. Also, this coming Friday, as was mentioned, there is a half-day dismissal for students, but it's a half-day professional development day for staff. Try to make these as productive as possible. And again, we have a schedule of activities for that. And Eric, if you would review that also.
Most of the staff will be working on their evaluation plan. This is the last professional development day of the year that's scheduled. And next month, all staff will be meeting with their evaluators. So this is the time for all the learning they did this year related to their goal. It's time to do a little bit of prep for that in regards to what's needed. We do have a number of other things going on in the district. Quaker is going to be busy with some preschool screening as well as the early kindergarten screener that per state law we began doing last year. So I believe we're running 2 sessions on Friday with families bringing those students in so our kindergarten teachers can work with them. And then we have half of our paras scheduled or rescheduled CPR first aid training, which they do annually with an instructor who also happens to be a teacher up at the high school. And then I'll be running with our staff who are in the teen program, which is our first or second year teachers, the state program that they must complete. I'll be running what's called the Module 5 session, which is more discussion based, and they have to do reflections on it, but I'll lead those 2 modules that afternoon as well. So busy day, but we'll get a lot of good work done.
Thank you, Eric. And then we have, I'm sorry.
There's a hand.
I'm sorry.
No, I just want, what kind of discussions do you have?
So the state gives us scenarios. So basically a lot of it for the teachers on this module is based off professional responsibilities and code of conduct. So in code of conduct, each module they have to complete is focused, could be instruction, assessment. This one happens to be professional responsibilities, code and conduct. So.
Okay.
Any other questions on that? Thank you, Eric. And as was alluded to earlier, we also have a schedule for staff input with the superintendent search consultants. And Megan, could you review that, please?
Sure.
Megan's done a good job trying to do this in a way that does not impact any school or any work function, but still give people opportunities and options to participate.
So I've been working with Zeal to create a schedule for community engagement, and these would be the focus group sessions. So there is a online, a virtual session, as well as an in-person session for each of the stakeholders, so they can choose which they prefer to go to. I believe there'll be some kind of communication going out in the near future from the board, and that will also have, the information about where to get the links and things like that for the schedule. There was some feedback earlier, so I will make those adjustments. I will connect with him tomorrow to make those adjustments. But again, there's opportunities for everyone, either in person or virtual, but this is also not the only option they'll have for providing feedback. There's going to be some surveys and some thought. This is kind of like an online portal for them to kind of put their things share in there. So there's going to be more opportunities to come, and that information will be shared out soon.
Megan, do you have time tomorrow morning to meet with me? Maybe Dr. Matamoski. I just want to go over, there's some name changes we need to make with town hall. Sounds like we're meeting with the town.
Oh, town hall.
Yeah, rather than
Okay.
it being a town hall meeting. So just to clarify a couple of things and
Maybe it's called community or something?
yeah, just figure out a way
Sure.
that we can change
Sure.
it up so it's not a little less
We
confusing.
are actually going to be together at 9, so if that works for you, we'll
Does.
just
Yeah.
start our other thing
Yes.
when you're done.
Okay.
So I wanted to, again, for your awareness, wanted to review three things with you. One, the schedule has been established for contract negotiations with the paraprofessionals and custodial staff of bargaining units. Board members, I think, know who they are. We're involved in that. We have staff involved in that as well. I just want to thank everyone for their commitment and involvement in that. And hopefully 2 or 3 sessions, we'll have these wrapped up, and those would be appearing by June for your approval. Also wanted you to be aware that one of the things I'm exploring with high school leaders and faculty is the establishment of, potential establishment of several pathways to graduation that would serve as choices for at least some students, beginning with the graduating class of 2029, when next year's freshmen are sophomores in the 26-27 school year. So, we have a full year to flush this out and plan it, but I'd like to see if we can establish a direction and what's feasible before the end of the year is out, so that can be facilitated. I'm hoping this could involve one pathway in the humanities area, one in the STEM area, and one in a non-college career technical area. This would involve revamping some of the standalone elective courses into a series of 4 to 5 related electives that would lead to a capstone experience. And I'm hoping to have something to share with you as a potential direction in this area at your June meeting. But if you hear about this, it's because we would be discussing this with staff, and there would be a good number of faculty needing to be involved in those discussions. At your next meeting in May, I'd like to amend the format of the agenda to include a discussion item of the 24-25 district goals. And more broadly, a goal-setting process based on district data that you could use as interim goals for your new superintendent while you work together throughout the next year on a 3 to 5 year strategic operating plan. I think that would be the kind of the direction of this. We're having some difficulty with the current goals because they are not based on the data of district performance, right? And so we'll do the best we can to, explain the status of those and what is being done for the remainder of the year. But more importantly, I think, is a process where you would look at those areas in your, let's take your next gen accountability plan. You might look at, most of those areas are very good relative to the rest of the state. But everybody has a lowest area, right? And you may have a couple of areas that have actually gone down from the previous year. And those are the areas you'd want to focus on in terms of district goals for the next year. And there may be board thoughts on this as well, and perceptions in terms of things that have gone well this year, things that have not gone well. But I'd like to just lay out a very simple goal-setting process that is based on data, whether it's quantitative, qualitative, or directly observable data. And this would be helpful to have some sense of as we wrap the year up, because it would help me in setting goals with principals for their schools. They're obviously the tip of the spear in terms of implementing any of this, particularly when it involves student performance in a particular area. So I'd like to take some significant block of time at your May meeting for that discussion, if you're willing to do that. All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman. That's it for my report.
Thank you, Dr. Adamowski. Okay.
Can I,
Audience, yeah, go ahead.
I don't know where to fit this in. I had another request for the old center school sign that's outside. I think it's on the wall there. A request that we keep that and get it to somebody in the school to get it mounted in an appropriate place. They don't want to have it destroyed. Okay. And, been asking, and I promised that I would ask and try to get appropriate answers so that I could get that funneled someplace where they can mount it. There's an old like sign over the lockers over there.
Over here.
Yeah. And they just want it because it's old and it's, you know, a lot of memories for a lot of people. And it also kind of came up, I brought it to the, I think it's the history, Rob Buck got in touch with me, and he's been working on trying to get a schedule, kind of like Sturbridge Village type of thing here to go through the school. And he hasn't got an answer yet.
And,
To go there, right, or come here?
I just said, yeah, I'll
Oh,
throw it up because.
I think I talked to someone about going there, because I think they're getting their
I think it
finals
is kind of
together.
what Southbury just did.
Yes.
Kids thing with the-
Yeah.
Close on.
Vic, is there a specific person that wants the sign or a group?
I just got it from the internal people here.
Okay.
They said they would really like to say that. I said, I understand, I got an old shell sign.
well, that was my question. Where should we bring that, or who should we give it to?
So I'll work with Vic to get who is requesting everything, and then we'll come to you and Megan for how to get that done. Does that sound like a plan, Vic?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And Eric, the person that you were in contact with, can we just verify between the two of you that it's the same person? And then if it's the same person, we
Yes.
can figure out what we need to get that done. Is that okay?
Good, thank you.
Okay, second audience of citizens.
Yeah, question. So has there been any more contact with the Board of Finance regarding the budget or any other cuts? Or has Howard been meeting with anyone? Because there's a lot of rumors swirling. Currently, we have people there listening to the meeting. I can't be in two places at once, I would be. But I'm just wondering what you guys have heard, just an update, I guess, on the budget and what's going on with that process.
From what I'm hearing, I think there's gonna be an answer tonight at the meeting.
Should I leave? it
I don't
over?
know, I don't know what that, I don't honestly know what that, what it's gonna be. I just know that they're talking about it, they're having a decision, and it'll become public tonight, is what I'm hearing.
I think that I guess I want.
So if you wanna go, do you wanna give your PTO thing, real quick?
So PTO, we just meet later this week, next
Okay.
week.
Okay.
So I might
Yeah,
run.
do what you gotta do.
Thanks, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, my report. So before we started today, I handed out the letter to the community. I've already gotten some feedback on that. I'm gonna meet with Dr. Adamowski and Megan tomorrow to make sure we get those changes made before it goes out. I will email Jeff, the lead person from Zeal, to hold off on sending that out until we get the changes that we need made. I believe
I'll
you're
be
coordinating
sending it out,
that, so we can
I'll-
hold it, we don't need to rely on Zeal to get that help. This involves the stakeholder engagement calendar as well. That was my second point that I was gonna make, but this is basically the same conversation. Jeff asked me specifically if the meeting on 5/27, which is in the calendar on that link that everybody has, because there were a couple of members that were not in the initial Friday 8:30 meeting a couple of weeks ago. That meeting is supposed to start from 3 to 6. And then we're gonna have our regular board meeting at 6:30. I understand some of you guys work and you may not be able to attend, in which case we need to find a different day. So please email me if you cannot make that day, because this is a very important day. This is where we're gonna be picking somewhere between 8 to 10 candidates. So I would really like it if all 9 of us were there. So email me what you could do, and then we'll try and get it figured out if you can't attend that meeting from 3 to 6.
3 to 6.
Did Jeff send out a list of
5/27.
meeting dates and times?
So there is there's a Google worksheet that
Yeah,
you
shared
can,
doc.
that you can share that's a living, breathing document. So in there, those dates are in that document.
It's that one that he sent that was like, save this document, save the link. So they just keep updating that same one.
But I do want to stress that I think it's very important that all 9 members are there. We are picking candidates there. So if you can't make it that day, we need to find a different date.
Yeah, but I'm never gonna be able to do it 3 to 6 times.
So-
So can we do an evening?
That's fine with me.
Okay,
I just want to make it work so everybody can be there.
okay.
That's my goal. Okay, I just wanted to check very quickly, are all board members signed up with a time and day to meet with Zeal?
Yes.
Perfect. All right, Dr. Adamowski alluded to it, but he and I discussed last Thursday. Just so everybody is, Dr. Adamowski and I will be meeting every Thursday at 9 a.m. the week before a regular meeting. During that meeting on Thursday, we discussed canceling the next Board of Education meeting because it's the same week as spring break. So I need to research how we cancel a meeting. I'm not 100% sure how to do that. We can just cancel it without a vote, without a motion?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
I
So,
think you would just post the cancellation.
right, okay. So is everybody in favor of canceling that meeting 2 weeks from today? Everybody's good? Okay, so we'll cancel that meeting and our next meeting will be the first meeting in May. And that is all I have for you guys today. Moving on to subcommittee reports. Joe, facilities?
Bathroom project is going well. The floor was installed, framing, electrical, and the plumbing were completed, and the inspections are scheduled. That's all I got.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
We were at the art show last night and the pool pack. Has anybody actually heard how loud that is?
So that is
I haven't been
because,
seen that for a long time.
Yes.
It was like 7:47.
Yeah.
that is because the way the pool pack is designed with this new pool pack, the exhaust faced outward into the parking lot instead of the old way where it faced inward into the building. So it's just, that's what you hear.
And we haven't.
And you're hearing it from outside?
Yeah, it
Okay.
was super loud.
Yeah, it's loud.
As long as it's not inside.
I was just wondering if we've had any neighborhood complaints because it's like, it's the first time I've heard it. So Rick and I were commenting about how loud it was.
The new vehicles? Those are new vehicles?
The police vehicles?
Yeah.
Yeah, outside Quaker and Goes, those were donated by the police department in town. They replaced the old ones that were rusting and
Yeah.
decrepit.
They look,
The ones that looked like they came out of that movie,
yeah, nobody's fooling anybody with those.
They are actually going to be used and moved on a routine basis for Brian's SOPs. So they're not just showpieces and trophies that are going to sit there and rust. So we'll try to use them to the best of our abilities.
Anybody else for Joe?
On the bathroom project, are we still within the $50,000 number? Or?
Yes.
Can, on the noise of the cool back.
Mhm.
I don't want to spend any money, but it's just a question. There's got to be some way to muffle that, if they can muffle a jet engine.
If you would, we would have to bring them out, do an evaluation at a consultation fee, and so it depends on what you want to do.
I just,
We can look into it.
yeah, because it's noisy. It's shocking.
It's
Something
exhausting.
could be made. I bet you that it's, could be over decibel safety levels, if you're close enough.
Come the inside though.
I'm just
Who's on the
saying,
roof? Who's on the roof?
the cone for decibels is large depending on what it is. It's not, something, but I'm just saying, it's when you walk up to the school, it's like, I'm just saying.
What's the noise like inside?
There's none.
There is
Is there
none. No, it's all outside where you're walking into the
Yeah.
gymnasium at the pool entrance. That's the only spot you hear it at.
Is there a potential for an issue for like being over a certain decibel amount?
I talked to D'Agostino about a month ago regarding the noise, and that's how I got the explanation I got. And the decibel level was not discussed.
So,
I checked the decimal level because it was loud, but it didn't register as anything dangerous.
Okay.
I'm no expert, I didn't have specialized equipment, but between my phone and my watch, it registered fine.
The good news is no houses anywhere near facing that direction.
No, it's good that it's not going into the school. I mean, it'd really be, so it's, I've been doing that.
Everybody good? All right, Deb, curriculum?
So our next meeting is May 5th, and we are bringing the K-5 literacy consultant into the meeting. And I would like to have some time at a board meeting for the guidance counselor to come to the meeting to talk about the career paths. We had talked about that during one of our meetings.
Career speaker, yeah, the work they're doing this year, and some of that stuff.
So we would like a time for her to come to one of our meetings.
Okay.
That would be Alicia.
I'll work with Dr. Adamowski to set that up.
And I just need to check something, I have something on my calendar, and I'm always good at putting full notes on my calendar. I have career day at 8:30 on the 11th. Now, is there, or did I just put something in the wrong place?
At the middle school, I think.
No, it's a career day. I just wrote down career day because I wanted to be involved with
Yeah.
the
I
process.
think the middle school,
Middle school.
yeah.
So, so I can add to my notes. Why do I have that there? Because I'd like to know, I guess.
I think it was in one of Sylvia's updates, so it's at the middle school. Career day is on Friday for the middle school.
Yeah, the 11th.
That's it.
What time does it start? 8:30?
Yeah,
Yeah, I can go back to the notes. It was in a report I presented a couple weeks ago. I can find it.
Okay, maybe I'll touch base with you.
Yeah. I can give you the.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything
That's all
else,
for
Deb?
me.
Policy and quality, Nicole?
So we had a meeting on Thursday. We have two policies that are before the board tonight for a first read. The first is restorative practices policy. The law requires that we adopt this policy by July 1st, 2025. The policy directs district administration to develop a continuum of strategies to prevent, identify, and respond to challenging behavior, including but not limited to bullying and harassment. So take a look at that. The second policy we have is the visitors policy. It remains largely intact. The only thing that was added has to do with what the administration would do if immigration authorities appear at the schools. So again, take a look at that. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. The last thing that we have to address from a policy standpoint is we need to discontinue our bullying policy effective July 30th, 2025. Because on June 30th, 2025, because on July 1st,
The new one comes in.
the new one comes in.
Okay.
So, does anybody have any questions? No? All right, so then I'd like to make a motion that we discontinue our bullying policy as of June 30th, 2025.
We have a second?
Second.
All right, any discussion?
Do we have a policy number? Is it numbered? I don't have the policy number, but I believe we only have one bullying policy, so.
Anybody else? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries.
5,200.
5,200.
Thank you.
Furiously typing away over here. You all set, Nicole?
I'm all set,
All
thank you.
right, Steve?
We're tentatively have a scheduled meeting for next Monday. Howard obviously is out, but that's the last where we left it. He was okay. I know it's a school week off, but he thought it was appropriate to get it in, get an update on the March up financials, and then as well, we'll, depending on the outcome of the Board of Finance, we'll reassess where we are in the future budget.
Anybody got anything for Steve? Okay, thank you, Steve. You did your report? You all set? Okay,
I got mine.
go. Oh, shoot, yes. Boosters. They'd be mad at me if I forgot, man.
Don't mess with me.
Facebook posts.
Booster Club update, senior lock-in, since we have a graduation date is scheduled for Friday, June 13th. There's a parent meeting for for April 8th. Oh, that's tonight. There's a meeting tonight. for they'll be for the lock-in and things like that. We're having a tag sale June 28th at Old Center School, if anyone wants to participate. If I think it's like $30 for a slot, you can sell your own stuff and make your own money. April bingo is April 24th. We're up to 64 people, I think, so if you still want to play, feel free to sign up. We have something planned, I don't know what it is, for teacher appreciation, and we also have something planned for senior decision day, which is May 1st.
Any questions for Sue? Alrighty.
The motion.
Yep, this executive session motion.
I hereby move that the board enter into executive session for the purpose of receipt and consideration of written attorney-client privilege communication regarding investigation into workplace personnel matter, and invite attorney Zachary Shuren and board selectman George Temple into the executive session.
Second.
Discussion. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
I'll